Thomas Halbert is back and shadier than ever. He's come out with a half-ass apology on Twitter, which we will read in a moment. I took the audacity of interviewing a lawyer who actually doesn't know much about American law, but knows quite a bit on the defamation law, so we could get a better understanding of the situation that Thomas has put himself in, what the repercussions of that could be, and where Jeffree Star stands in all of this. If you're not already up to date with Thomas Halbert, I'll leave all my videos about him linked down below. I also explain everything that he's done previously in my interview today. Basically, he defamed Jeffree Star by accusing him of being a racist in a video that he posted to his channel. He has had zero to no support from anyone because he's had no evidence to back up what he was alleging. No receipts, nope, nothing, and people seem to think that this video came from a deep pit of jealousy and hatred towards Jeffree Star as a result of Jeffree Star not wanting to collaborate with him in future videos or help him build a merchandise line that probably would have made him a lot of money. Here are the tweets that TomTom sent out today. Just wanted to let the people who actually still care about me know that I get Wi-Fi in my new apartment in 6 days. I'll have a video up by then. I've been moving and trying to deal with this all privately before I deal with it publicly. Love you guys. I would hope that what I stand for and what I stood for many years online and offline would be proof enough of how much I've grown as a human when it comes to social issues. I've never tried to hide or ignore my past and have always been open about it in interviews and podcasts. What I said as a preteen was dumb, misguided, uneducated, and yet another example of a white kid being oblivious to their privilege and the severity of certain words. I've changed since then and have made a conscious effort to be a better person since then. I hope you see that. I was going to wait to address this in my video, but it's been driving me crazy. I'm sorry for ever being that idiotic, and I'm sorry you feel betrayed. I hope what I stand for now and what I stood for then shows you I am not that person, nor will I ever be that again. Now, Thomas has since deleted most of these tweets he sent out, which leads us all to question how truthful he really was being and the intention behind those tweets. Now, I found this, I was going to say claim, but it's more of a statement on Guru Gosper, which I 100% agree with, and I'm sure it's going to sum up what a lot of people are thinking. Somebody commented, "Petty Paige just made a great point in her live stream, even though she believes Thomas's story. He was all about calling Jeffree Star out and didn't care, but suddenly in this video, he's sitting there and saying that he didn't feel like he could speak up because he was scared of Jeffree Star's fame? Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's lying about his claim, but it just feels really weird. Fine to call things out to terrified. It's odd." To which somebody responded, "It's because he was finally benefiting from being on Jeffree's good side and didn't want to lose that if he spoke up. If we are being honest here, he was a known Jeffree Star hater/basher before, and he had no problem dragging him through the mud before. But the moment he got the benefits, oh sweetie, he was scared to go back to not getting collabs and views like before. In brackets, how I used to cry and complain about his videos flopping. He saw what Jeffree did for James. James is now one of the top beauty channels. Yes, on his own merit, but he did get that Jeffree Star boost. The same way Manny, Laura, Gabrielle, Nikita, etc. did. They were all silent when they were getting their subs and views, but once their relationship turned sour, suddenly he's a bad person? Baby, we're not that stupid." Like honestly, if that doesn't sum up some of the fake beauty gurus who use others for views and clout these days, like honestly, that's the real tea. Okay, so now for the interview I had with a lawyer who wishes to remain anonymous about the situation at present. Thomas Halbert is a beauty guru over in California. He does like makeup videos on YouTube. And Jeffree Star, I don't know if you've heard of him, he's got like a massive makeup line. He's like one of the top beauty gurus in the world. Anyway, Jeffree Star invited around Thomas Halbert to come to his house to talk about like video collaborations and, you know, potentially working together because Jeffree Star's like a multi-gazillionaire. He's got all this money and he's got all these businesses. And he said to Thomas, you know, we might be able to help you launch a merchandise line, or like help make a better one. So anyway, Thomas was around there and he was texting, while he was sitting on Jeffree Star's couch, he was texting some of Jeffree's ex-friends. and just basically bitching and just, you know, being a little snake, being all secretive and stuff. And so anyway, he goes home, and Jeffree Star's like, hey, look, you know, I don't want to film any videos with you or do a merchandise line with you just because my business said no, like his, you know, the people who work in his business or whatever. For some reason, he said no. And Thomas was like, okay, that's cool. And then the next day, Thomas must have gotten really angry about it because, you know, it was quite a big opportunity that he got turned down for. And so he filmed a video on YouTube, and pretty much he said, you know, oh, I went to Jeffree Star's house and he said all these racist things, and he said the N word and he said the B word, and he said that it's normal for, you know, for him and his work colleagues to say this kind of stuff. And everyone online was like, well, where's the proof? Do you have any, like, recorded, you know, sound or anything to prove that? Or do you have any leaked messages? And he was like, no. And Jeffree Star was like, well, this is a big lie. And then Jeffree Star goes online and leaks all these private messages that he's had before with Thomas, pretty much, you know, proving that he's not a racist. And Thomas pretty much got, like, kicked off the internet, basically, and he's only been back on since yesterday, which is why I'm filming this video, as to, like, why he's back so soon. So what are your thoughts on him pretty much filming a video about accusing him of being, like, a racist?
Well, it's clearly defamatory. A defamatory statement is any statement which would tend to lower a person in the estimation of of any other reasonable person. So anything you say about someone that's going to lower or damage their reputation is potentially a defamatory statement. He saying someone is a racist is not really the type of thing where you can say, well, prove it's true. It's because it's an opinion. So he would have to be able to show, for it to not be defamatory, he's going to have to be able to argue that it's an honestly held opinion. Now, that ultimately is going to come down to whether or not this guy said racist things. And it seems to me more likely than not that the guy didn't say any of these racist things, and this person's just had a rant and tried to attack this guy online, to probably with the intention of damaging his reputation because he's upset that he didn't get this deal. So look, it's clearly defamatory. Has it actually damaged this other guy's reputation or not is probably the bigger question.
No, it hasn't in the slightest. Yeah. You know, a lot of people online were saying, you know, this is complete and utter lies. You know, where are the receipts? Where are the screenshots? Where's the audio that proves that Jeffree Star said these racist things? So, you know.
Yeah, and this is so often the case with defamation. It's easy to establish liability. You don't have to prove actual damage to prove that someone has defamed you. But what's the point of suing someone for defamation if you actually haven't suffered damage? You know, this person who's called racist hasn't lost business as a result, and can't say, well, my business has dropped by $1 million a month or whatever. You know, what's the point suing someone when you can't actually establish any loss? And I think in actual fact, this person's done themselves more harm than anybody else by jumping online and making what are clearly unsupported allegations, and probably just ruins their own reputation.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happened, to be honest. Yeah. So
and I mean, people's reputations can just be destroyed overnight by people making allegations against them, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But it just goes to show that it's even more important that when an allegation is made, that people expect some basis to it. People demand some proof to it, because we know that this information can get out super fast and can be super damaging. And if we're just going to accept any allegations without proof, then people can be wrong, can suffer wrongly because of these allegations. If we're not going to turn around and say, well, there's got to be proof, and if someone's going to make those false allegations, they're just making it harder for people to get taken seriously when they do make genuine allegations of this sort of thing, and they cause more harm than they cause arguably as much harm as the people that are doing that are being racist in the first place, because it just makes it easier for those people to go undetected.
Yeah, I agree. So that's all for this video. Sorry about the ending of that interview that got cut off. If you would like, feel free to subscribe. All my social media will be linked down below in the description, and I'll see you guys in our next investigation.